In this lecture, we would like to discuss the left out portions of existentialism and alienation that already we have discussed in one of our lectures with it at least before 10 to 15 days ago. But now we'll discuss exactly alienation as Karl Marx, the founder of communism, interpret about alienation. So his very theory revolves around forces of production, and those forces of productions which determines the relations of productions as it was presented by Karl Marx in his Communist Manifesto and his monumental work Das Capital or the corrupted capital. So, in that sense, Marx observed that the work that a worker is called upon to do is not part of his nature. It is forced upon him. In consequence, he does not find his fulfillment in his work. But undertaking this external work, he denies to himself. The worker denies to himself the possibility of developing mentally and physically. It caused him misery. The forced work the worker does only to meet his needs. The self sacrifice and mortification due to it alienates him from his work, from his own self, and from everything else around him. So, in that regard, we'll discuss Marx's philosophical ideas relating to alienation and private property. The product of alienated labor is private property according to Karl Marx. It is the product of the external relation of the worker to himself and nature. It is derived from alienated man, alienated labor, alienated life, and estranged man as profession, as Karl Marx, the founder of communism, expressed. And according to him, alienation is especially acute in capitalist society, with its propensity for turning human beings into commodities. The key to the reduction and elimination of material and thus moral scarcity is technology. Once material abundance has been reached, historical systems of economic inequality with their corresponding structures of moral scarcity. The original sin, noble versus ignoble birth, master, slave, lord, serf, owner, worker, government, citizen, police officer, criminal will disappear and a classless society of human fulfillment will emerge as it was visualized by Karl Marx in his Das Kapital and Communist Manifesto. So, now we'll discuss the very impact of alienation as Karl Marx propounded in his Communist Manifesto, which was published in 1848 jointly with Sir Frederick Engels. show the very impacts of alienation according to Karl Marx. Is alienation from work has its impact on the worker. The object produced by the worker is an objectification of his labor. It stands opposed to him. It is alien to him, so much does objectification appear as loss of the object, that the worker is deprived of the most essential things, not only of life but also of work. So much does the appropriation of the object appears as alienation, that the more objects the worker produces, the fewer he can possess, and the more he falls under the domination of his product, and that is of capital. What is embodied in the product of his labor is no longer his own. The greater this product is, therefore, the more he is dismissed. The alienation of the worker in his product means not only that his labor becomes an object, assumes an external existence, but that it exists independently outside himself and alien to him, and that it stands opposed to him as an autonomous power. The life of which he has given to the object sets itself against him as an alien and hostile force. Thus, the more the worker appropriates the external world of sensuous nature by his labor, the more he deprives himself of means of existence. In two respects, first, that the sensuous external world becomes progressively less an object belonging to his labor or a means of existence of his labor. And secondly, that it becomes progressively less a means of existence, in the direct sense a means of for physical subsistence of the worker. So this is how Karl Marx explained about his forces of production and how they determine the relations of production. And in that work, he touched about alienation of worker from the work, and also alienation of the worker from his family, and also from society and community, and also lastly a worker is alienated from himself. So the very theory of alienation as propounded by Karl Marx in his Communist Manifesto and thus Capital was in the hand of the existentialist philosophers, and in particular Jean-Paul Sartre, the French political philosopher, in his work Being and Nothingness. So also, in the age of reason, he propounded his existential ideology in comparison with Marxism, and also as an ardent supporter of Marxism and communism, he forwarded his theory of alienation. But his theory of alienation is somehow differs and major issues in contrast to Karl Marx's theory of alienation. So, in our upcoming video and lecture, we will discuss in detail about the theories of alienation forwarded by the French political philosopher Jean Paul Sartre.